my name is Queen Bee. I'm a gamer and artist. I just made this PNG tuber because I want to get into kind of, I suppose, vlogging, but I don't want my face in it. And I figured it'd be a fun way to learn how to make my own PNG models. This is my first one. It's very rudimentary. I got the idea to do a slime from a YouTuber I saw that showed a tutorial on how to use PNG Tuber Plus, which is what this PNG model is animated on. I hand drew everything in this model. I also have been really into Slime Rancher recently. So I took a little bit of inspiration from Slime Rancher as well and made kind of like my own Slime Rancher slime, like a bee. I took inspiration from the honey slime, which is why I have those little honeycombs on my head. And I like the idea of having antennas like the flutter slime from Slime Rancher 2. And so this is what I came up with was my own little honey bee slime PNG model, and it also is really fitting with my name. I'm going to show a speed paint of this little guy. I started with the base, then I picked out, it was a little bit of a trial and error for the colors, for like the main yellow like honey color, because I wanted it to be a different honey color than the honey slime, but I wanted it to also be kind of bee yellow. So I put it kind of in the middle of those two, I think, which I really liked. And then I kind of just worked on drawing things from there. Maybe I'll add on to this one and maybe I'll make an entirely new model in the future. But this was a really fun thing to do. It only took me a couple hours. And yeah, like the biggest issue was colors, like what colors I wanted to do. And then downloading all of the PNGs, because I drew this on my phone and then I transferred it to my computer and put it all together. But, anyways, that's enough about this guy. My real purpose for this video was to talk about and show you my tabaxi for my upcoming Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So her name is Honey Briar, and like I mentioned, she's a tabaxi, but she's based off of a bay cat. I'll show you a couple examples. Bay cats are typically a red-brown color. However, I liked the pattern of the bay cats, like their attitude, because they're known to be very sassy, and I wanted my character to have a lot of sass. But I preferred the colorations of like the rarer, darker brown ones, and so I decided to make my own like darker brown one. And she has the markings and like the general areas that a normal bay cat would, which you might notice, but it's her face marking. She has some lines on her face like the bay cat's does. She has a couple lines on her shoulder. She has the lighter tummy because the bay cat's entire underneath is a lighter color, like an almost white. And then they have like on the bottom of their paws too is that lighter color. So the tips of her fingers are lighter, the tip of her tail to kind of show you the underneath side. So now that we've kind of looked at what my character is, we can watch a speed paint of her. Basically, what I do is I draw my character or whatever I want to draw on paper first because I really enjoy getting like the basic line art down on paper because that's a lot easier for me. And then I upload, like I take a photo, a really nice clear photo so that I have the line art, and I uploaded that onto my Ibis Paint app on my phone. I have just the free version, and then I watch ads for if I need the brushes. And so I do that. And then I trace the line art, which you'll see me do. And then once I get all that traced, I do a lot of work with layers. I start doing my coloring. I work on finding references for my colors. So you'll see a lot of photos like pop up in corners. That's me using references for colors. So one thing I used was my reference for my character. Like I put that on there and I pulled the colors from the little color swatches I had on the side, and then I took a color swatch from a sweet briar rose, which I thought was a really cool thing to put into her outfit. And then yeah, so I made a lot of the colors myself too, but there were some things that I need a little bit of help with to like perfectly match the colors how I wanted to. So that is my art of my tabaxi Honey Briar. She is a rogue druid. She is going to be like a scouting character, so when the parties are traveling, she's going to be a character that like goes and looks ahead, and then she has this spell that she can do that makes an animal into a messenger, and she can send that back. And I'm super excited to play with her. She's not entirely fleshed out yet, but I am super excited to finish her as a character and get to play with her. Thank you if you made it this far, and have a great day.